Hi. Is this a weird height? Let me go up a bit. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm still in my pajamas. Like, for real. Did I mention how we've got so much to do? But we did sweep our floor because we had a lot of people over for dinner last night and it was really nice. It was very impromptu, but it did make us, you know, sweep. So I think that's kind of made us feel slightly ahead of ourselves, and it's kind of masked the reality of what we need to do before our yurt sitters come tomorrow and then we fly to the UK. You know, I think we're feeling confident, and the truth is all we really have is a swept floor. So anyway, let's make another YouTube video. Before we bust a move on that, don't forget to subscribe so that you get all my new videos. So, I've got to hide my pajamas. So today I wanted to have a little chat about all the things that I see, like mostly on Facebook, where people are like, I can't stand my kids. And I thought it might be interesting for me to share a couple of things as a mum who spends, oh my goodness, a lot of time with her children, because obviously my kids don't go to school and they don't go to kindy. And I wanted to share this one thing that my kid, one of my children who just has a really rebellious spirit, I wanted to share a little bit about her, and also this one thing that she did that was just completely beyond, like next level. So I'm going to share that kind of towards the end. I have a few thoughts about people that are like, I can't stand my kids, I just can't handle them. Number one, and they might seem like kind of opposite points, but sometimes life is like that. You need to do two kind of sort of opposing things in order to go deep into the right thing. Personally, I think that can sometimes happen. It sounds a bit weird, but whatever. So number one, I think for those people that are really struggling, say like the holidays are coming up and you're like, oh, I've got to spend all that time with my children, I really don't want to because they are, you know, different to you or challenging or gross or whatever it is. One, it sounds to me like you need to get your own needs met in a really big way. Is there any way that you can get more support? So people to talk to, people to vent to, people you can ring up when it's going really hard and you can just say, oh, I'm really struggling with this, who can just validate how you're feeling, give you space for your feelings. If it does feel like you're not getting any space and that is making you not be able to handle being around your kids, is there a way that you can get some space? Can your other half, if you have one, or a grandparent or a friend, take them away so that you can get some time to do something that you love? If there's any way for parents to do more of what they love, I reckon that can be the key to creating more room for the child in your life to be exactly as they are. So what I'm saying is, if you can focus on yourself and remember the thing that you really, really love to do. Is it painting or crafting something, like making something? Is it just reading a novel? Is it having a bath? Is it going for a run? Who are these people? It's not me. I really have this strong sense that when individuals do more of what they love, that actually makes them better able to meet the needs and to fall in love with the people around them. And I guess that is really the aim of a parent, is to have this real deep loving relationship with their children, and I really feel like doing more of what you love can be the key to that as parents. So focus on you is number one, and number two, focus on your child. So that might seem a little bit counterintuitive if they're driving you wild or they're doing your head in, but I heard this amazing quote that said, people who can't, I'm really remembering that quite well. It is, if you can't stand your kid, you don't understand your kid. And I really believe that that is true. That the more we know our children and the more we're kind of able to sort of get them somewhat, the better able we are to be around them and make space for them being exactly as they are. Rather than kind of like keeping on putting boundaries between you and your kid because they are having this effect on you, instead carve out a day where you and your kid can just go and be together and to do awesome things together. I really sense that that can be a bit of the key to unlocking an understanding of your child that will help you if you really are feeling some kind of like messy feelings towards them. We also do this thing every night and it's amazing. So it's a little basket of questions, and every night at dinner there's 50 questions in here. We downloaded them from Momastery, Glennon Doyle's website, and they just have little prompts like describe your perfect day. They're so fun. It just means that we get to know all this stuff about each other that might not necessarily come up in conversation. I think that you can't just assume that your child is going to open up to you, or you can't just assume you're going to have a really good relationship. You do actually have to work hard at building relationship with your child, particularly as they get older, I think. And these like intentional questions give us a chance to do that. Okay, and lastly, to the people who just say, I can't stand kids. There was one of those on Facebook last week. Can you believe it? They just said, I don't like children. And to you, I say that is not okay to just not like a whole group of people. That is prejudice. And you really need to examine your adult bias. And you need to recognize that you can't just lump a whole category of people in together. That is, like I say, prejudice. You would never do that about a gender or an ethnic group. You just wouldn't. And it's not okay to do that about children. So if you've caught yourself doing that, stop it. And if you see anybody doing that on Facebook, I reckon you should call them out and just be like, it's not okay. So as a standard, say you don't like kids. It's totally okay to say you find it challenging to be around some children. That's fine. It's totally fine to say I don't want to have kids. Of course, that's fine. But you just can't say I can't stand kids. Not okay. Bit of a rant, sorry about that. Anyway, so this thing that my daughter Ramona did. So Ramona has a real, just like a defiant spirit, and she's like this sort of rebel in a explosive volcano body, and it is awesome, and it's wild, and it's challenging, and I love it. And having Ramona was probably the thing that opened my eyes to this whole new way of parenting, because she would not stand for traditional parenting, and she let me know quite quickly that I had to learn a new way of being with children. I'm ever thankful to Ramona for the things I've learned from her. And then, we're doing all this work because mining has begun on our mountain. You might have noticed I'm on a YouTube channel. I've been chatting about it a little bit. But we've been doing all this stuff like going up there at the crack of dawn to stop the miners getting to work and things. And then as we were passing down the bottom of Karangahaki the other day, Ramona had this most amazing idea to paint little rocks and leave them all over the areas where people visit the mountain to let visitors know that they are mining it. And it's just like the coolest thing. So I'd love to hear from you about how you get through difficult days with your children, or when you get that feeling like they're really hard to be around. I'd love to hear your creative ideas. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. The next time you see us, we're going to be in the UK. So that is really exciting. 5 days to go. I've really got to change out of my pajamas and crack on. Keep radical.